Hello and welcome back to the Puncher's Chance podcast, and welcome to the preview show where we have a look forward at the boxing coming up on the weekend. This weekend, that is Ben Whittaker fighting on a Matchroom card with Gavin Gwynne, Cameron Vuong on the undercard, as well as Frazer Clarke versus Jeamie TKV for the British title on BBC 2. Straight into the action. We'll start with one of the cards. At some point in the podcast, we're going to work out which card is better. But to start off with, we're going to talk about the surgeon, Ben Whittaker. Matchroom debut against Benjamin Gavazi, German light heavyweight. How much are we looking forward to that fight? What we think of it? All that good stuff.
I'm just more interested to see Ben Whittaker back out with the new Matchroom link up. It'd be interesting to see how they build him now going forward, how quickly they look to push him, what type of opponents they want for him, and if they can sort of change that public perception slightly from where he maybe was under Boxxer to now trying to turn him into a sort of British boxing star that people will get behind fully instead of being a bit 50-50 on him.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And I think the other thing that this fight is perhaps interesting, or certainly the next few fights for Whittaker is actually what level is he at? Because previous to Liam Cameron, it was quite difficult to perceive what level he was at as a fighter. And obviously the Liam Cameron fight had its controversies in the first one, and then he beat him very emphatically in the second one, but we didn't get to see much of it. We didn't see enough to see. So it will be interesting to see, is there a genuine improvement in him under Andy Lee? Is there genuine potential in him in terms of going on to fight for world honours in the future? And all of the above. But, this one's fighting him for the WBC silver, which will get him some pretty strong rankings worldwide. So certainly if Matchroom are thinking, let's get him moving, then this fight is a great enabler for that.
It's the road that they're going down. It seems like, ain't it, going down that WBC rankings, and it's a good fight, I think, for his sort of comeback, as you can say, also after obviously all that stuff that happened with Liam Cameron, and it seemed like in that rematch he was just out to make a point and to shut people like us up that were questioning him after that first fight against Cameron. So this fight, he's going to go into it probably with no pressure. It's his Matchroom debut. Andy Lee as well. That's going to be really interesting. You see what sort of style he adapts. And, Andy Lee seems to be that coach in boxing at the moment that everyone wants to be trained under.
Yeah. And we saw how shortly they were working together, and he got the stoppage.
But the last two times that is some of his big names have fought, they haven't claimed the victory. But listen, Ben Whittaker this weekend is fighting a guy that he should beat if he has any aspirations of moving up to world honours and all that. But it's going to be interesting to see.
I think this is a fight he has to win if he has aspirations of winning even a British title, let alone world honours. This is a fighter who is a relatively untested opponent who he should be beating. And interesting, we're talking about the WBC route. Obviously, we were talking in our last podcast about David Benavidez looking likely to be vacating and moving onwards. Is there an opportunity to fight for that WBC?
Do you think he goes world level that quickly? I haven't seen nothing from him yet as a professional to say that he'd compete at British title level yet.
I agree, but
like in terms of,
it's helpful timing.
Who's the British title holder light heavyweight?
Light heavyweight. Now you're testing us.
Is it? No, it's not.
I'm testing. I'm even trying to think myself, but
because it's a really stacked division. Let me have a quick look. Because
it's that look at some of the
there's some great fighters. British fighters, Joshua Boazzi.
No,
I'm not saying that are the British champions, but in terms of Zach Parker, Callum Smith, Willie Hutchinson. Of course, it's Louis Edmondson, isn't it? Is it Louis Edmondson that won it? I'm pretty sure.
Louis Edmondson still got the British title, have he?
Beat it against Dan Aziz. Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, Louis Edmondson.
I'd want to see that fight before he goes anywhere else.
That'd be a great fight.
That for a British title would be good.
Because it'd been bubbling over for a long while.
When he fought in Cardiff, it seemed to be all that talk that week was about Lewis Edmondson fighting Ben Whittaker.
Yeah, and it was the Ben Whittaker fight from before that, the one that has the huge talk with all the show reel where he was really taking the mick with the flair and stuff, that Louis Edmondson was actually at the fight night to kind of call him out and stuff.
Do you reckon he still continues doing that under Andy Lee?
No.
The sort of show? No?
I feel like he's trying to get away from that now.
I think we'll still see moments, glimpses of style and
the sort of
and
I can do it here, but
the
I'm
head
not going
movement and the footwork and the making people miss and making them look a little bit silly by doing so. But I think we've seen him smack someone with the back of his glove for the last time, fortunately.
You're not going to do that at the higher the level you go up.
Well, you can if you want, but you'll lose.
Yeah. If you're more worried about doing that.
Okay, it's David Benavidez. On top
you
of
look
the
at some of the names, just British fighters in light heavyweight. At the moment, from what we've seen of him, I haven't seen anything to suggest that he would compete with someone like Boatsy, like Callum Smith. Like, he still feels it, and rightly so, he still feels some way off that, because he's only, 9-10 fights into his professional career, so he's
10
still
fights,
got plenty
fights,
time to go. But I think a British title fight there or thereabouts is somewhere where they need to go first before looking. I know he's going to get good rankings from this fight on the weekend, but a British title is something they should be aiming for, I think, before they push him beyond that.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. I think for the British and Commonwealth, the Louis Edmondson fight makes absolute sense as a leveler. Louis Edmondson hasn't had a huge amount of fights in his career himself. I think he's on the sort of 12-13 neck of the woods, obviously losing to Daniel Lapin quite narrowly. In terms of a Louis Edmondson fight, we've spoken in the past, he's not the most exciting individual. He's very impressive, but he's not always in the most exciting fights. And I think that extra bite in a Ben Whittaker fight would be
so easy to build
hugely
up as well.
interesting. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
such an easy main event for
Both great
Matchroom to
talkers.
make.
Oh, Eddie Hearn would love that build up.
I would love that build up. I think it'd be a good one to watch. But again, we are getting distracted here, and I think we're getting distracted because it's a slightly uninteresting, uninspiring opponent. It very much feels like the sort of like the first step of a really long flight of stairs. It's like the actual step itself isn't that interesting, but what could come from it? It's the start of a journey, isn't
What's
it?
at the top that matters, sort of thing.
Getting knocked out. Yeah, is what's at the top.
David Benavidez waiting for him.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's
If Benavidez is waiting for you at the top, you better hope those stairs are very long.
Very long.
Yeah. No, I think. I hope there's a lift. No, I think for me, it's this is the start of his journey to under Matchroom getting to a point that we hoped and we expected after that Olympic silver that he would get to. But as a standalone fight, it is relatively uninteresting.
The most intriguing fight on this card is on the undercard.
And which one is that, Ben?
That is Gavin Gwynne and Cameron Vuong rematch.
And why is that so
is
interesting?
The one
Can
I'm
I
looking
just
forward to this weekend.
We're meant to be unbiased on this podcast, aren't we?
I don't think so. Have we ever claimed to be?
Wow. I'm not.
I'm being unbiased by agreeing with majority of boxing fans in saying that Gavin Gwynne won that first fight.
Yeah, I think there's.
You don't disagree.
I think there's.
I don't actually.
There's two men. I think that or four men that think Gavin Gwynne didn't win that fight. Cameron Vuong and the three judges on the night are the only ones that don't.
It says a lot when Eddie Hearn doesn't agree with it as well. Cameron Vuong's meant to be a sort of future talent of Matchroom, and he's saying that Gavin Gwynne won that. But listen, it's like Ben said, that was probably the best fight of this weekend because there's so much riding on it. Cameron Vuong's sort of career is riding on it in the sense of if he loses, he can rebuild, but he finds his level.
Yeah.
And I think that's a harsh lesson for him against Gavin Gwynne. But for Gavin Gwynne, this is the sort of fight where if he loses, he can't afford to lose Gavin Gwynne. And I think there's pressure on Gavin Gwynne, but I feel like the pressure is more on Vuong because there's so many question marks still unanswered in the fact that hardly anyone thought he won that first fight. And he was very, very lucky. And he's returning to Birmingham to rematch him. He's had that sort of fight in between. Both of them have had a fight in between. Vuong looked okay. Gavin Gwynne looked okay in Neath when we saw him. it's going to be a good, exciting fight, but you feel like with the sort of the story that it's got written all over it, you just want something to happen where Gavin Gwynne gets his justice of, I won the first fight. He needs to make sure he wins this fight now. And that has to be not allowing it go to the judges. That has to be the message to Gavin Gwynne this weekend.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I agree with everything other than the fact that I think he probably can win this on a point decision, but obviously...
Well, after the first fight where everyone thought he won.
Yeah, I do. I think so.
That almost plays into the judges' minds as well.
Yeah, I just think...
Knowing the controversy of the first fight, if it is nip and tuck, if it is close, but it feels like it's edged more towards Gav, I think they're more inclined to give it to him this time because of the sort of backlash that they would have received from the first fight. Because I thought he won it quite comfortably the first fight. And
yeah.
I do think that Vuong will come in a lot better in this rematch, and he'll know that he'll have to be at a certain level to get the result. So it would not shock me if Vuong walks away with a quite solid decision win. I couldn't see him stopping Gav, but I think he could quite clearly be good enough to get the win. But I just think it's going to be an interesting fight. I think it'll be very close again.
Yeah, what I really like, it mirrors hugely Boston Fawaz in terms of the first fight, controversial, who didn't win it. The second fight, and in that fight, Fawaz, and obviously from our with our sort of Welsh boxing hats on, I really do hope that Gavin does it. But equally, as a British boxing fan, I equally hope in a way that Cameron Vuong shows a level that is impressive, and you go, well, fair play. Yeah, he's turned up in this one and improved, and obviously both can't happen. So one of them is going to have to not happen. But I think I can be equally happy for both parties, whilst still more so hoping that Gav obviously wins it.
Give credit to Cameron Vuong. Like, Gav's a former British and European champion. Losing to someone of that caliber, I'm not saying that he's a bad boxer if he was to lose to him. Like, that's a very, very good level of sport. But equally, to get a win against someone like, well, I know we had the win last time round, but a more conclusive win, shall we say, where there isn't controversy around it. If people look at it on Saturday and go, you know what, Cameron Vuong turned up, he was way better in the rematch and rightly picked up a win against a former British and European champion, that will do a lot for him, and it will show that he could maybe kick on further past that level. But I only see it being another very difficult night for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Elsewhere on the card as well, you've got Aaron Bowen in a fight, Ibrahim Suleiman, again, in a fight that both of those you'd expect to win their respective bouts. Alpha Barrett, Liam Dillon is an interesting little fight.
Good little way-rounder, yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously Molly McCann on another second boxing fight. We'll use this card as our predictions on the Boxing News app later on in the episode. But first and foremost, Frazer Clarke, Jeamie TKV. It's a fight we've had to wait a little bit for with the delay after the first one. It was an intriguing fight when it was announced. It's still an intriguing fight now. Where do we see this fight?
Is the full BBC card on, or is it just the main event they're showing?
It's on
I
BBC
believe
2.
The
main
full
event.
card is on 2.
Really?
Is it not? I don't know.
I think it's from 8 p.m. I know that Fran Hennessy's on the card, and she was in the paper yesterday, did an interview, and it got on there that she's fighting from 8 o'clock on BBC 2. So maybe it's on iPlayer, but I think it's good for boxing that, well, we had last week, we had Harlem Eubank on Channel 5, didn't we? And you get other eyeballs on the sport. So I'm excited to see that sort of, the aspect of other people viewing boxing. And it's going to be interesting as well, going up against Ben Whittaker.
I was going to say,
that's like the thing that I'm most looking forward to this weekend, because Ben Whittaker, former boxer, fighter and all that. And it's a good fight. I think it's a really, really good fight in the heavyweight division, and it's a tough fight to call, I think.
Are DAZN going to struggle with viewership figures, considering you're going to need a DAZN membership to watch the Matchroom card compared to...
I think they struggle less than what Queensberry would have done with that pay-per-view with Parker Wardley.
Yeah, I agree.
They still haven't released the numbers of that.
I also think that the kind of fans that are particularly interested in Ben Whittaker and in Gavin Gwynne are the kind of fans that have a DAZN subscription because it's not a huge commercial fight.
The Matchroom card is way better.
Yeah. But equally, I think the fact that the Boxxer is available on BBC and particularly that main event is a very interesting 50-50 heavyweight clash. It will pull some viewers, I think, and it'll be an interesting experiment.
Is more interesting. To be honest,
Yeah.
I'll probably watch personally for me, I'll probably watch the Matchroom undercard and then switch to the main event.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'll probably be watching them both at the same time, but if I only had the choice of one, I'd probably watch the Boxxer main event.
Yeah. No, I do. I tend to agree. I think Frazer Clarke and Jeamie T is interesting because obviously Jeamie TKV looked impressive against David Adelaide, and that was a controversial fight for a number of reasons. Frazer Clarke, I think,
British title this is for.
Yeah. So Frazer Clarke obviously comes off the back of with a fun fight against Ebenezer Tete in the middle, but off the back of being obliterated by
that was on the.
He's seen Tete live.
Yeah, that was the Whitaker Cameron undercard.
Yeah, it was a good fight, but I think it's hard to know really truly what level Frazer Clarke is at, and Jeamie TKV is a great litmus test as a heavyweight of are you good or are you not? Because if you ain't good, Jeamie TKV will find you out. If you're pretty good, you'll be able to win that fight. So I think, for a British title, always a great fight. Heavyweight, all British clashes are always exciting. I think this is a great main event to start BBC
really
or Boxxer on BBC.
Actually, I interviewed
Frazer Clarke, yeah.
I remember actually, yeah.
So it would have been funny for you two to watch me stood next to him.
I can imagine.
He is
What, are you looking down at Frazer Clarke?
He is a big guy.
Yeah.
He looks even bigger as well when he's just sparked out Ebenezer Tete.
And he's done a whole row of other media outlets, yeah.
But,
I bet.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'd be...
Boxxer have got a
really
good run
fight.
of main events, though, haven't they? On BBC, they got Troy Williamson, Callum Simpson before Christmas as well.
Yeah.
So I think Ben Shalom, everyone was, I wouldn't say laughing at him when they lost their Sky deal or was picking on him.
They'll struggle to put a solid card together from top to bottom just because of finances. But it could push them to having to really make the main events as good as they possibly can.
Are they just doing a Matchroom now then, would you say?
In terms of...
Well, Matchroom last year, where they have the main event is the main attraction and the undercard you can easily catch the highlights.
I agree to a degree. I don't think they're going to have that. I also don't think they're going to have that undercard of prospects on there as well in the same way, because I just don't, they haven't got the stable to do so. I mean, you look at it, you've got Fran Hennessy fighting against Fabiana Bitki, I'm going to go for. He's a former atomweight champion. So it's a good next level step fight. It's kind of, because of the where she was at in her career, Fran, it's a kind of step in the right direction still.
She fought on the Price Jonas undercard, didn't she? So that was her last fight out. So.
Yeah, so it is probably not dissimilar a fight, if not probably the same fight that would have been made.
I'm a big Boxxer fan.
Yeah, you are. They've done well by this Boxxer. But that's an interesting
fight. He's probably
fight.
been to all Boxxer cards this year, apart from this one on the weekend. Because they've only done a handful, haven't they?
Yeah, they haven't done many.
Isn't many of them.
They haven't done many at all. No, Callum Simpson, Ivan Zucco.
I was meant to go to that and didn't.
Wow, call yourself a fan. Yeah. Call yourself a fan. And then you got Jack Massey on there as well. Kind of on a little bit of a comeback. It would have been
Feels like a while since we've seen Jack Massey.
The loss to Jai Opataya.
Was that the last one?
Would have been his last fight for Jack Massey. I think so, yeah. Either way, there's
some brilliant platform for fighters to be on.
Yeah, exactly. And there's some interesting enough fights. It's just they do not have the funding.
Isaac Chamberlain was beforehand when he won unanimous decision.
Yeah.
Jai Opataya lost. So he hasn't fought, he last fought in October 2024. So
yeah, it's been a little while, but yeah, I think there's interesting enough fights on that Boxxer card, but nothing to write home about. I'll certainly tune in, but I don't think I'll be portioning off my Saturday evening to watch it, because
I'm going to be sat in the hotel on my own watching both of them, ready for top tier, which is the best. card this weekend.
Yeah, who is it? The
Hang on, is it?
Ursu
Do we have
Amos,
to agree
is
with
it?
that? Do we have to agree with that
Well, I'm
comment?
just giving my
I actually
opinion.
agree. I was
I'm
looking at that
joking,
yesterday.
good card.
It's a really good card.
Are they still on DAZN as well? Top two.
Yeah.
On a Sunday they've got Konstantin Ursu versus Amos for the
really good main event.
WBO European and Commonwealth.
Love
They've got
Was it you who interviewed Ursu?
yes,
Fair play for interviewing him.
They got,
Seems like the sort of person that
mate.
you don't want to.
I got a good interview.
You
with-
ask him
with
the wrong
Konstantin.
question, you could be done.
No, I think I got a good interview with him. But yeah, the co-main is quite interesting. There's a WBO European and there's a British and Commonwealth title eliminator.
Malik Zinad's fighting on it as well.
Malik Zinad, who
is
lost
a
to
former
Bivol.
opponent of Bivol.
You've
Really
got
good fights on it.
yeah, there's a really good card.
Sharp.
So fair play to him. Fair play
Stevie
to
Levy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of great stuff.
Fair
Daniel
play.
Crotter is an interesting guy.
And it's on Sunday as well. I like
Yeah,
a Sunday fight night. I like
Yeah.
that uniqueness of we're going to have main events on a Sunday.
Yeah, I like it as an interesting thing. I don't.
But it was a pain, mind, if you're covering it and you have to travel back Monday morning.
Yeah,
Was it?
Yeah, it's a bit.
we are getting waylaid here,
So
and
the
I think
waffling stage
it's
of the
because
podcast.
it's time to do the predictions.
Yeah,
Which
you
Ben,
should
you've
plan it.
won twice in a row now. Fair play to you.
Since we started taking them seriously again.
I will say that I have. I did go for a Sam Noakes win for the
And
culture.
I will say that I was going to go for a Devin Haney points decision, but I went for
but
a
the
draw
difference
just to
is
be
the
funny.
difference is
No, there's no
I
difference.
put my money where my mouth is, and I put a bet on Sam Noakes to win for Abdullah Mason to win. By
I
a
don't
points
have to
decision.
gamble to
So-
prove my point.
No, but I have.
Bet responsibly.
I've got the receipts to show that that's what I actually thought was going to happen.
Did he win? Did he win big?
I did, yeah. No, I
did.
did 50 quid, something like that.
We
you know.
paid for the pay-per-view.
Gamble responsibly. Aaron Bowen, Tom Cowling is, of course, a middleweight 10-rounder. Aaron Bowen,
He's always in a good fight.
he's always
His
in a good
with-
fight.
that
Yeah.
fight with
James
James
Todd.
Todd. I always go back to
Absolute
it. Brilliant
belter, but
fight.
what's going to happen in this one, Mr. Thomas?
I've gone Bowen by decision.
I agree, actually.
I don't know a lot about Tom Cowling. 14
Struggling there,
I
Aaron?
agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Cameron Vuong versus Gavin Gwynne, super lightweight 10-rounder
I was gonna do the
rematch.
splitter.
What are you going for on this one, Harry?
I think that Gavin Gwynne will not leave it up to the judges this time round, and I think he stops him late.
Wow. What about you, bud?
I've gone Gavin Gwynne as well, but I've gone by a decision. I think he'll
Trust
nick it
in
on
the
decision.
judges.
I've gone for a Cameron Vuong decision. I
The doors were there.
think
The doors were there.
he is going to have learned enough from that first fight and improved enough from that first fight that he is going to win that one. I don't think it will be one-sided by any means. I think it will be sort of in the 8-4, 7-5 points range, but I do think he's going to narrowly beat. Oh, sorry, it's a 10-rounder, isn't it? So it'll be 6-4, 7-3 points range. Ben Whittaker, Benjamin Gavazi, light heavyweight 10-rounder. I think Whittaker's going to want to make a statement in this one. I think he's going to want to get a stoppage. We know Andy Lee loves a stoppage. But I don't think it's going to come.
Ooh,
Interesting.
very interesting. So we are going to get a winner. We're not going to have a draw.
We are indeed.
I'm going Whittaker by stoppage.
Same here. I think he gets a stoppage.
Within 6 rounds.
Relatively easy as well. Can I just say as well, the bet slip that he's got now, we're talking a lot about gambling here today.
Yep.
257 to 100.
It's great odds.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
25 to 1, is it?
Yeah, pretty much. Just shy of.
Yeah. 26 to
I'm not a gambling person.
Mine is a 0.4 to 1,
See, boring. See,
whatever that means.
live a little. Look,
Whatever that
I could
means.
put that money on and
Let's give a prediction as well for the BBC main event. Frazer Clarke. Jeamie
I
TKV.
think Frazer Clarke is going to win that one quite comfortably.
really
Points or stoppage?
Points.
points. Yeah, I don't think he stops him,
Comfortable points.
especially after that performance against
Clarke
David
points.
Adelaide. I think it could be close. I don't think it's going to be comfortable.
I don't think Jeamie TKV has the tools to cause Frazer Clarke a major problem, and I do rate Frazer Clarke, and unless he's got someone like Fabio Wardley in front of him that
We
can
said the other
crack
week
him.
as well, in terms of that Fabio Wardley draw, the first one,
It looks very
like
good. now.
looks a lot better now considering
Yeah.
Fabio Wardley is now currently a world champion.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't even mentioned that on the podcast because it was.
Congratulations, yeah.
It was. I said this. I remember it was announced while I was at football training last week, and I showed it
crazy
to Archie, who's one of my old housemates, who's also a big Fabio Wardley fan. He quite likes Fabio Wardley. And I said, normally, paper champion, you go, yeah, but you're a paper champion. But if you've beaten Joseph Parker to become a world champion, you kind of have to say, do you know what? Yeah. That to me counts. In the same way as for Daniel Dubois beat Anthony Joshua. Yes, he was a paper champion, but really that for me, that is a world title fight. You deserve a world title for winning that fight. So I'm buzzing for Fabio Wardley. Well deserving.
Double more than has earned that. But I swear, if we went back a good few episodes before when the Justice Huni fight was announced, I'm sure all three of us were sat here going, we could be soon living in a world where Fabio Wardley is, maybe we even said fighting for a world title, but he's now holding a world title. Yeah. And people are looking at him as a very dangerous heavyweight that you've got to try and get past to get one yourself. So
but just imagine if he never landed that shot against Huni.
Yeah.
It'd all be a dream.
It's boxing for you, isn't it?
I think what's good for Fabio, or what's brilliant for Fabio Wardley is if you're looking at him as you're looking at the heavyweight division, you go, I want a world title. You've got two choices. You've got to fight one of the most skilled, brilliant boxers that our generation has ever produced, or you've got to go in with a man who will hit you like hell and you don't want to get on the other end of. So actually, I think he's in a really strong point where you go, would I rather be made to look daft, but, at least have my wits about me, or I have a chance of getting really splattered. So I think it'll be interesting to see what that first title defense is for Fabio Wardley.
I think there's going to be plenty of heavyweights in the line looking at that, but from what he's shown, it's not going to be an easy fight for anyone, I don't think, in that heavyweight division.
What would be your next fight?
Even Usyk looked at it and thought, I don't fancy that right hand, I'll give him the belt.
What do you fancy? What do you reckon for the first fight for him? Without having looked at the rankings for the WBO necessarily. Is the Parker rematch the fight you want?
Joshua.
Is he? Well, I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon with Parker.
It certainly doesn't look like it, no. But
I'd say Fabio Wardley against Anthony Joshua in April.
Ooh, be a great fight. And then obviously Fabio Wardley.
Because if
again, you're overlooking a tough fight though.
And we've seen that Anthony
Joshua, then that's just an even crazier British boxing story. Joshua wins, then Joshua's got a world title. You get him and Fury on.
You get Fury on the phone.
And it's on a world title then.
Get Fury on the phone.
More to it.
He's got a world title. Will you now fight him? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be daft not to, really.
Exactly. So what is the rankings?
I'm just having a look now for you. I'm just loading it up.
I'm not being funny. Could Moses Atoma be...
Same coach.
Oh, okay. Forget about that then.
And obviously, I was going to say that Anthony Joshua is now not training with Ben Davison for the
I said that
for the fake Jake Paul fight.
I did say that a couple of weeks back, and you boys went, surely not.
Well, it hadn't been announced. I think you might have just made an error.
No,
that happened to become true.
No, I got a
you
source.
happened to become true.
I had a source. I spoken into existence.
Ketchup, brown sauce. No? Okay.
Barbecue.
Moses Atoma is the WBO Intercontinental and ranked number 1. Filip Hrgović, WBO International, ranked number 2.
It could be a good fight for him.
Wouldn't be shocked if that fight happened.
Hrgović was a potential opponent when he was meant to be fighting Justice Huni.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility.
And he's still
another very winnable fight, mind, for Fabio Wardley as a title defense.
Pound as well, Hrgović.
Pound for pound in right hands.
Heavyweight maybe.
Pound, yeah.
Pound for pound is a bit of a stretch.
It's what you said.
I'm not twisting your words.
I said heavyweight pound for pound, didn't I? What I said.
You said pound for pound.
Still even heavyweight pound for pound stretch.
What's the time? 20-6. Let me have
a howler there.
Yeah.
Zhang 3, Dubois 4, Anderson 5.
Imagine Jilly Zhang.
We've got Nelson Hisa, WBO Global. Richard Torres Jr. is ranked 9 as the North America version of the WBO, and then Anthony Joshua comes in at number 10. So
technically from that then, Anthony Joshua is the easiest fight for Fabio Wardley in April.
That he could as a world titles defense. Yeah, I think for me, the Hrgović fight is absolutely the fight to make, I think.
I just feel like they do the Joshua fight to try and give Joshua a world title before fighting Tyson Fury. To elevate that fight even more. For
Matchroom and Anthony Joshua and Eddie, yeah, absolutely, that's the fight to make. Absolutely, it is. I don't know if Queensberry would. I don't know if Queensberry would take that, but the payday, you'd have to
right.
say.
But then there's a gap.
And off the back of beating Joseph Parker, you'd have to say he possibly is the favourite on paper in that fight, which is a mental thing to say from when you look back a year.
But then you're going to have the issue then that if Fabio Wardley pulls it off and beats Joshua, we don't get him and Fury ever.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just
But then we have to
best to
thank
avoid it.
Fabio Wardley for that then, don't we?
We'll end up with Fabio Wardley, Tyson Fury. Next summer.
I don't think that would happen.
No, instead we've got Anthony Joshua.
I really hope that Fabio Wardley gets the Usyk fight. It's never going to happen, but I would love it.
Is he still injured?
Just for the love of the game.
Usyk? Or is he just waiting?
Well, this is why the WBO have done it, haven't they? Because they did an investigation because he was injured, and there was a video of him dancing on stage.
Back injury whilst
and they were like,
moves, yeah.
hang on out.
But the thing is, Caballero's fighting in January now.
Yes.
Early January, I think, in Germany. So he could potentially be out April time. So that could be Usyk's next fight.
Could be.
But I would love nothing more. Like Ben said, this story, that book that someone could start writing about Fabio Wardley from the white collar boxing to now, the amount of chapters it would be incredible.
Yeah. Have you seen some of his old white collar fights?
Imagine those white collar fighters that fought Fabio Wardley and now
Fought from world
can walk
champion.
around and go, I've fought a world champion.
Mm.
Yeah.
I got battered by him, but I fought him.
I fought him, yeah. Not
I've
many
seen
people
the
can
one
say
guy
that.
in like, it seemed like a ballroom. It looked
Yeah,
like,
I know the one. Yeah. Interesting stuff. We almost forgot that because of the timings that news came out as
It's
we
nice,
were.
It's nice to talk proper heavyweight boxing as well for a change.
Yes.
And like last week's clown show of an event that's happening in Miami.
There we go. Yeah, no, it's that is interesting. What was the was it an MMA fight or wasn't it?
Anderson
Silva's
Silva's
been announced.
Tyron Woodley.
I mean, come on now, what are we doing? You know,
You can't say what are we doing and then look at that main event as well and go,
no, but you've got two men who aren't boxers who both have lost to Jake Paul fighting each other. I mean, if there's a small pool of people under the age of 50 that have lost to Jake Paul, and two of them, you know, are fighting each other. But yes, like you say, that's not proper boxing.
First one thing we've learned though, if it makes money, it makes sense, especially when it comes to the sport of boxing.
It's too right, mate. If you like the sound of that, if you want to. Sounds like Siri quite like the sound of that on my iPad there. If you like the sound of all of that and some proper boxing talk going forward, then subscribe for 2 podcasts pretty much every week. We'll be reviewing the fighting from this weekend, having a look forward at what's coming up next week. So stick around for all that good stuff. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week.
Punches chance. Punches Chance Podcast.